family dwellings that are housing elderly people who may just be a little bit slower moving around.
The Milwaukee Fire and Police Departments investigating the fire as an arson. 2 men from southeast Wisconsin allegedly involved in the death of a teenager 13 years ago, now facing murder charges.
Back in 2012, medical examiners ruled 16-year-old Corey Stingley's death a homicide due to asphyxia after he was physically restrained by multiple people during a suspected shoplifting incident at a West Dallas convenience store. Now, more than a decade later, a special prosecutor has filed felony murder charges against now 67-year-old Robert Behringer and 39-year-old Jesse Cole. The Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel reports the men have agreed to a deferred prosecution agreement in the case, which means the charges will be dropped if certain conditions are met. Both men are scheduled to appear in court Thursday. Neil Doyle, WTMJ News.
Former President Bill Clinton and former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton defying congressional subpoenas from the House Oversight Committee on its investigation into the Jeffrey Epstein case. The Clintons in a letter said they didn't know about Epstein's crimes and called the Oversight Committee's investigation partisan. Here's ABC's Jay O'Brien.
Bill Clinton was friendly with Epstein in the 90s and early 2000s. No Epstein survivor has ever accused the former president of wrongdoing, and both Clintons have denied knowledge of Epstein's crimes. Writing to the committee, "We have tried to give you the little information we have. We've done so because Mr. Epstein's crimes were horrific."
Committee Chair James Comer says the Clintons aren't being accused of any wrongdoing, but want them to testify before the committee about what they may have known about Epstein. A ruling on President Trump's tariff plan could come from the Supreme Court today. Justices heard the case in early November. On Monday, Trump said we're screwed if the high court rules against the tariffs. At the White House today, the focus will be on Greenland as Vice President Vance and Secretary of State Rubio meet with leaders of the Danish territory who oppose President Trump's effort to take it over. Greenland's prime minister saying his nation would rather remain part of Denmark.
President Trump Wednesday morning on social media is reiterating his push for the U.S. to acquire Greenland. The president writing, quote, "The United States needs Greenland for the purpose of national security. It is vital for the Golden Dome that we are building. NATO should be leading the way for us to get it." His comments come just hours before Vice President Vance and Secretary of State Marco Rubio meet with Danish officials at the White House to discuss this issue, a meeting requested by the Danes. The White House has insisted every option is on the table to acquire Greenland, including the use of military force. That's been met with significant pushback from European allies. Karen Travers, ABC News, Washington.
Big tech companies like Microsoft trying to ease tensions around AI data centers. Coming off a meeting with federal lawmakers this week, Microsoft President Brad Smith tells Wisconsin's Morning News.
We're living in a time when people have more questions about data centers, including here in Wisconsin. And what we concluded was that this is a time when we should not just acknowledge these questions, but address them head on, raise the bar on ourselves, and meet the needs of the public. So we addressed 5 issues that I think matter to a lot of people: electricity, water, jobs, taxes, and skills.
Tech giant investing over $7 billion into its data center campus in Mount Pleasant. Time for news about your money and the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Markets are sharply lower this morning. Dow is off 266 points. The Nasdaq down 325. S&P 500 down 63. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com. This traffic report is brought to you by, sponsored by Marty's Pizza in Delafield.
On a husband's face, the tears of joy from a wife, a son, or a daughter. You understand the magnitude of what we're doing here. I'm Dr. Matthew Cooper, Director of Solid Organ Transplantation at the Froedtert and the Medical College of Wisconsin Health Network. As we look to lead the way in transplantation, we're always thinking about what's next and how to maximize outcomes and quality. Clinical trials, scientific research, using the latest technology, offering living donor transplantation, they're all crucial to how we're advancing the science. None of this happens without an all-star team. We mobilize the best of every supporting discipline, from mental health to dietary to pharmacy. We don't have to refer patients outside of the system. The transplant experts are right here. At the Froedtert and the Medical College of Wisconsin Health Network, we're pushing ahead because the work we do not only changes the playing field, it changes lives.
This report brought to you by the Froedtert and Medical College of Wisconsin Health Network.
Every year I make the same resolutions.
What, get rid of your husband?
Don't be silly. No, get organized. And I'm finally keeping it.
Because we're turning that cluttered closet into a custom space that actually works.
More shelves, better hanging.
Space for shoes and sanity.
Start the new year with a closet that makes your mornings easier.
It's one resolution you don't have to do alone. We'll design it with you.
Get started at InspiredClosetsMilwaukee.com.
Inspired Closets.
A wife and husband team.
The 6th annual Hales Corners Hometown Boat Show is on now at MW Marine. Check out the newest fishing boats from Lund, Vexus, and Ranger, all powered by Mercury Outboards. Grab a gorgeous 2026 model or save big on remaining 2025 Mercury-powered boats with substantial rebates. Demand is high, so get to MW Marine today. Free parking and free admission. Don't miss the Hometown Boat Show at MW Marine, MWMarine.com.
Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time 10:07. Time for a WTMJ sports update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. Milwaukee lost 139-106 at home to the Minnesota Timberwolves. Bucks will head back on the road Thursday for a matchup with the San Antonio Spurs. Wisconsin men's basketball team kept its winning streak alive. UW has won 3 in a row to improve to 12-5 on the year, winning over Minnesota on the road 78-75. Badger Sports Update sponsored by Siding Unlimited. Siding and a whole lot more. Taking a look at the roads now with your WTMJ Time Saver traffic. A rash of traffic accidents. We do have a current crash on the ramp from 84th Street to I-94 West. The ramp from Highway 100 to 94 West closed because of a crash. One on the exit to Silver Spring Drive from 43 South has been cleared, and one on the exit to Highway 164 from I-94 West has also been cleared off the roadway. This traffic report sponsored by Marty's Pizza in Delafield. Here's your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Falling temperatures blustery today with a high of only 22. Partly cloudy, windy tonight, low 13. Increasing cloudiness tomorrow. Snow likely at night on Thursday after a high of 24. Snow likely Friday. Some accumulation possible, high 36. Scattered snow showers on Saturday. Breezy, cold, 21 for the high and a chance of flurries Sunday with a high of 17. That's the temperature in Madison right now, 16 in Green Bay and 21 degrees in Milwaukee. I'm Connie Weber. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time 10:09.
Broadcasting live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue. It's time for Point Taken. Here are your hosts, Steve Scaffidi and Kristin Brey.
Listen, guess what today is?
It's hump day.
Oh, it's hump day. Yes, also late start day. So the morning jocks on the morning zoo program here, Eric and Vince went a little late in their show. They didn't get that memo of when they're supposed to stop talking. But I'm going to let it go because we've sort of bucked that trend. But here we are again, starting the show way late. So apologize to all of you. Before we even get started, Kristin, you and I work hard on our newsletter, and we're gonna talk about this a lot this week because I want people to find this. This is a great way, sort of. You just did a presentation at the Jewish Community Center.
Yeah.
And they say, well,
the men's club.
People always say, well, when I can listen, I listen. But here's the thing. We give you every opportunity to find our content on your schedule. And the way we do that is with our newsletter. And we make it so easy for you. Text the word extra, EXTRA. Just checked it out. Works fine. Gives you the link. Subscribe. It comes out every Sunday morning. All the links to all of our content, our interviews, some fun stuff, some recommendations. We ask you questions. We get feedback. We solicit feedback. It's the best way to be interactive with a show.
I agree.
So, and we're going to talk about it a lot because I think it's important. I had to get that off my chest.
All right.
All right.
You got anything else you want to get off your chest?
What else is on my chest? Yeah, I was surprised that you didn't realize that the Bears coach Ben Johnson said F the Packers. That surprised me.
I think I maybe heard it in passing, but I don't, maybe this is a generational thing. I don't think it offends me as much as it offends you. I imagine that in almost every, the difference it seems like is he said it publicly, but I have to imagine most head coaches in the locker room have similar sentiments to their big rivals.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
Yeah,
you don't think Matt LaFleur's ever said something like that about a different team? Not with the cameras on.
Yeah, well, it is quite a difference between cameras. He knew the cameras were there. They're right in his face.
No, I know. And so that's what I'm saying. But I just don't think, I think you seem more offended by it than I do.
Well, maybe. And perhaps I would probably say I'm a little more tuned into the Packers than you are probably. I mean, I spend time talking about him professionally. So
would you bring it up if it wasn't your team? would you still be offended by
because
it?
it's part of this argument I've been making for a long time. We sort of dumb down our culture to the point where people are just dropping F-bombs all the time, which we'll talk about later in the show with the top guy in our country and how this is sort of emblematic of that problem. I even saw a video yesterday of a father giving his 6 or 7-year-old a hall pass because the kid was dropping F-bombs in reaction to the game, the Bears' victory over the Packers. That's a thing now, a hall pass for swearing to your kid because the Bears beat the Packers? It's like, wow.
All right, so are we?
No, I don't want to do that now.
No, not now, but we're going to talk about it more later. You want to get into it later?
Yeah, because the president put himself in that category.
He did.
Yeah,
he did.
In a big way.
And there's video.
Yeah, and there is video, clearly. And he didn't just stop with the words. You know what I mean?
You know what I mean.
If you're watching, I was going to say if you're watching on that now, but I'm not going to do that.
That's actually a good question. Now that we have a live stream.
Oh, yes.
If you flip the bird on television or on a YouTube live stream, is that an FCC violation?
I would think for us, yes, but I'm not sure about that.
Please just don't do it.
We're not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. Back off. I'm not going to do it. But I'm just saying, it's interesting as far as, especially for YouTube, maybe for network television, but I wonder for YouTube if you would actually get in trouble. I bet not.
Not on YouTube.
I'm not going to do it. All right. So what I am going to do is talk about something that I think got a big reaction and is a stupid mistake. I'm trying to get more intel on how something like this happens. So our friend Dan Bice, political investigative journalist over at Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel, noticed very quickly yesterday, and it has since been changed, that from the WIS GOP Twitter account, there was the context, the text was a criticism of Mandela Barnes and Francesca Hong, both Democratic candidates for governor, calling them radical progressives, and that from wanting to defund the police, raise property taxes, and bring socialism to Wisconsin, it is clear that they are out of touch with the needs of Wisconsin families. The problem is, it was not a picture. Well, it was a picture of Francesca Hong. It was not a picture of Mandela Barnes. It was a picture of David Crowley, Milwaukee County executive.
Mm-hmm.
The two things being in common is they're both from Milwaukee, Mandela and David Crowley.
And they're both black.
And they're both black.
Mm-hmm.
And, the gut check immediate reaction from a lot of, I would say, left-leaning people from the black community is calling it racist, saying, the trope of all black guys look the same. It was immediately changed with the right picture. I asked some of our Republican friends, what do you think happened here? They kind of pinned it on out-of-state consultants. So it was interesting to me, though, because one of the things that Bice did point out was that last year, almost a year ago, when Elon Musk's PAC was so involved in the Supreme Court race, someone on their team made a post about Susan Crawford and did not use a picture of Susan Crawford, but a picture of a different Susan Crawford who happens to be a Harvard law professor. And I don't think, because I thought the same thing. I was like, had they done this, had the
Was that
GOP...
Susan Crawford black, the other one? The fake
No,
one?
I think they were both white. They were both white.
Well, they got that part
but
right.
I thought about that as so if they had made a post confusing Kelda Roys and Sarah Rodriguez, would there be the same gut reaction?
No.
That all white women look the same?
No.
First I actually would say that Sarah Rodriguez and Kelda Roys probably do look more similar than Mandela and David
by the way,
Crowley.
the latest picture of Sarah Rodriguez on the Journal, I think it's the Journal-Sentinel website, not a flattering picture.
I haven't seen it. Well, we're going to talk about that next because she actually has an interesting or controversial plan when it comes to ICE, but we're going to get to that after we can talk about this.
My take is it was a mistake, and you sort of alluded to...
But how do you make that big of a mistake? Is there...
No
this is
fact-checking,
my
no
question. Is there
double-checking.
any subversive advantage to doing something like this? Do you get two birds with one stone by getting Mandela's name associated with socialism, but David's picture? Is there any tactical reason to do this beyond it just being a stupid, lazy mistake?
I don't think so, but maybe somebody who's heavily involved in politics beyond what I do and talk about thinks there is, other than just being a troll. Maybe is that what this is?
Because they didn't apologize.
Of course not.
They basically just looped Crowley in, saying he's done a terrible job with Milwaukee and is also a terrible candidate. Reading the snipes back and forth is hilarious as far as
Yeah.
the digs at each other and the digs at each other's party.
I would ask Dan Bice next time he's on the show, did you ask the question, was in fact this ad post done by an out-of-state consultant? I mean, that would be a logical question. Then you'd have an answer to that.
Yeah. So Anika Rickard, who is the spokesperson for the Republican Party, her response was, neither Crowley nor Barnes is a fit to lead. A mistake in a post that was up for a few minutes is nothing compared to Crowley's failures in Milwaukee County. As for Barnes, voters already decided that he was unfit to lead when he lost in 2022. So
she went political right away. I mean, not acknowledging.
And
the
she did
mistake.
call it a mistake, but
Well, she did. So, and I agree with her on the mistake part.
but no apology.
You're not going to get an apology.
No.
These two sides in politics. I'm trying to think the last time anyone of significance apologized for anything they said in that.
Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Yeah, actually, that's right. Yeah, and interesting, a Republican. How about that? Democrats ever apologize for anything?
I mean, she's cooking something. She's doing a lot of media.
What's she cooking?
Probably a run for something.
What's she cooking in that kitchen?
Probably either a run for Senate or maybe 2028. I don't know. She's trying to differentiate herself from what she was, though, for sure. And she's not. We've not, just because she stepped down from her role, we definitely have not seen the end of Marjorie Taylor Greene.
No, and I mean, she was. Not that I'm saying she's had a complete conversion, but she was as bad as it gets when it comes to just outright falsehoods, just bowing down to the leader, regardless of what's said or what's done or what's proposed. And she seems like she's had some sort of a miraculous conversion, and I hope it's real. Maybe her faith plays a role. I don't know. Maybe she talked to somebody. Sometimes people can change in life.
People can certainly change. I think it'll be interesting to see if it's just going to be interesting to watch where she takes her career now.
Yeah, and maybe she does. Maybe she doesn't have political ambition, and maybe that's freeing her up.
If she didn't have political ambition, why would she still be doing this much media? Unless she wants to be a pundit and highly paid by MS Now or one of those channels.
All right, we still have a lot of ambition for this program, and thanks for joining us. As always, if you miss any or all, you can find it certainly on the newsletter links, but at WTMJ.com. Quick break on 620 WTMJ.
Get ready, Bucks fans. Wisconsin's Midday News with Greg Matzik and Jessica Ty is taking you courtside. Bucks Insiders is your inside look at player updates, game previews, and exclusive analysis with special guests all season long.
Guys are like having fun, like there's a real energy.
Powered by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Tune in every Thursday at 12:35. Only on Wisconsin's Midday News.
Hey, WTMJ, Steve Scaffidi for Advent. Let's talk about it. I did something 6 years ago. Now you can do something today for not just you, but your bed partner, your wife, girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever it is. You can stop the snoring. You can stop the tossing and turning restlessness that bothers a lot of people when they go to bed at night. And you want to wake up rested and refreshed like I do, which is something I appreciate now after getting a good solid 7 hours of sleep last night. Advent is the way to go. I walked in 6 years ago and said, fix this for me. In a 30-minute visit, they gave me the problems that I was facing. They gave me solutions, and they said, let's fix it for you. And in a short procedure, they did that. So that's my success story. But if you or as I said, your bed partner are dealing with this, why wait? Deal with it right now. Go to Advent and adventknows.com. If you struggle like I used to, do something about it. You can find out how your breathing and your sleeping can make your nights better when you improve those two things. Go to adventknows.com, schedule an appointment today because Advent knows. I love saying this because it's true. When you breathe well, you live better.
Kick off the new year with a smarter home and bigger savings with Exterior Pros and Baths. New windows to lock in the warmth, durable roofing, eye-catching siding, or a stunning bath makeover. Start the year off right and get $3,000 off your project. That's right, $3,000 back in your pocket during our New Year savings event. Call 262-800-4274 or visit extpros.com today. This deal won't last all winter. Exterior Pros and Baths. New year, new home, done right.
Steve and Kristin on Point Taken, a Hump Day edition. Thanks for playing along and listening with us, wherever you find us over the air online. YouTube is an active way to see what we're wearing. I'm Nike today. I swear to God, you got a stylist after the first of the year.
That was one of my goals this year, is to actually dress better.
Yeah.
Is to shop my own closet and make a more concerted effort to look pulled together.
Yeah. I'm not that invested in
Well, we're
clothing.
at different stages of our lives.
Thanks for saying I'm old. God.
All right. So you mentioned Lieutenant Governor, candidate for governor, Sarah Rodriguez.
I did.
I don't know what picture. What was the picture that you were talking about?
She was like saying something, but it just was a weird look on her face and her mouth was open. It was not a very nice picture.
Well,
not that matters. In
it doesn't matter. That makes me think, and this is a tangent, but over the weekend with the pictures of that is being distributed of Renee Nicole Good, the picture that her family put out.
Right.
And then somehow people were putting other pictures of her with no makeup and trying to use that as like, do you want me to post a picture of me with makeup without makeup? Two very different people.
The good news is I'm always the same because I don't wear makeup.
That's true.
So I'm
That
good.
is true.
I'm good on that one.
All right. Anyways,
I
so
win.
she has come out as of this was yesterday,
Unlike Pete Hegseth. Go ahead.
proposing to ban immigration actions in public and private spaces in Wisconsin as a part of her campaign for governor. And interestingly enough, Tony Evers, current governor, questioned whether or not she would be able to do that. And so basically, I'm trying to get to the point where she said her plan would include ban civil immigration enforcement actions in and around courthouses, hospitals, clinics, daycares, schools, shelters, and churches, unless agents have judicial warrants or the actions are in response to threats to safety. Require warrants to perform immigration actions and bar agents from masking their identity. Allow individuals to sue federal agents over constitutional violations. So that is her plan. Now, like I said, Tony Evers was questioning whether or not she would be able to do that. But even regardless, let's take can she do it or would she be able to do it off the table? Do you have any opposition to what she's proposing as far as it being the rules?
I sort of support the governor on this. Like, you got to be really careful with this stuff, right?
So what do you think the limitations of ICE should be?
I certainly want more transparency. I have a real problem with ICE agents covering their faces.
Okay.
It's one thing to have a helmet on with a shield, but it's another thing that they're basically wearing, and there's a name for these things, but I don't know what they're.
It's like the.
Is it a balaclava? Something like that. That's what the hunting term is. You hide your face. In hunting terms, it's for the cold, but here they're doing it to protect their identity. And there's a lot of unanswered questions about who these people are that are serving these roles and whether they're qualified. I'm more concerned with that. But if you start getting into this, and I would ask you this question right back, doesn't it surprise you that the governor would be sort of on the side and say, hold on a second here? Because they're both Democrats. They work closely together. This is an example, and I don't want to condemn ideas that sort of try to protect us as citizens, because I don't want to.
I'm going to say go ahead. Go ahead.
But I think you got to be careful because law matters. And when you decide to pick and choose the laws you like or how they're enforced, it gets into a real sticky situation. So is she saying with her sort of her rules of engagement here that she just doesn't want him in the States?
No. That's not what I just said. I just outlined the three parts of her plan.
I'm looking at it right now.
Saying ban civil immigration enforcement in courthouses, hospitals, clinics, daycares, schools, shelters, and churches, unless they have warrants, judicial warrants.
My understanding is they're not required to have warrants right now.
I don't think that's true. I think
that's a legal question.
That is a legal question because I have heard plenty of people say they need warrants in order to arrest people, especially arrest U.S. citizens.
That's probably true. Non-citizens, I'm not sure.
And I don't know if they have cover now because of the Supreme Court ruling saying that basically they can use language, race, and proximity to like a Home Depot as enough information to at least inquire and detain. But then the second point was require warrants to perform immigration actions and bar them from masking their identity, which is what you just said. And then 3, allow individuals to sue federal agents over constitutional violations.
All right,
so
I'm looking at the
of
list.
those 3, what do you have a problem with?
All right, so I don't have a problem with the face covering because that's on her list here. As far as the locations, courthouses, that doesn't bother me. That's a place where, if you're in there, it's got a lot of public scrutiny and transparency. And hospitals, I'm not sure because that involves a lot of different things. One, there's other people that are undergoing some pretty serious, treatment. That seems weird to me. Clinics, I assume she means like
urgent care.
Urgent care, sort of the same thing. Daycares, no. I'm sorry. I don't think that's an appropriate place to be doing because young children are there that have nothing to do with the situation. And as we've learned from Minneapolis, man, there's not a lot of guidelines on some of the stuff. You got to take a quick break.
Okay.
We'll get back to it. Kristin, Steve, point taken.
What's on Tap with Sandy Max, keeping you updated on culture and creativity.
The Wisconsin Film Office. We can say it out loud. It's going to happen. Academy Award winner John Ridley.
So I'm glad that Wisconsin is getting in the game. I hope they stay in the game. Wisconsin is great because it has so many different looks. It has so many different places. It has places that are untouched. It has places that are incredibly modern.
What's on Tap with Sandy Max, weeknights at 6 on WTMJ.
Hey, if you're about to or considering selling your business, you're likely experiencing a flood of questions and new priorities, right? In this interactive webinar next Tuesday at 1 p.m., Annex Wealth Management's Anthony Malachnik and Brian Lambert will discuss with yours truly many of the key questions you may ask, including who you should consult with, what tasks you should prioritize, and when you're ready to make that move. Join Anthony, Brian, and myself for this informative webinar. Just go to annexwealth.com. It's easy. Just find the events tab, click on it. It's free. You'll learn a lot about this subject, and it's always interactive. Join us next Tuesday at 1 p.m. Annex Wealth Management. Go to annexwealth.com. Click on the events tab.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here. As you probably know, when you buy one dinner, you get a second dinner free every night at a great place, the historic Fox and Hound Supper Club. Well, through January 15th, when you buy a $100 gift card, you get a $20 gift card free. Buy $250, get $50 free. Buy $500 in gift cards, get $125 in free gift cards. Business owners, managers, the Fox and Hounds card makes a perfect year-round gift. Everyone loves a free dinner. You get great value. They get great food. With the buy one dinner, get one free offer, when you buy one gift card, it's like getting a second gift card for free. Your company will save hundreds of dollars, and your employees will truly appreciate you. And if you didn't have your company party in December, have it in January. At the Fox and Hounds, half your employees' dinners are free. It's gorgeous. Great food, great service. The Fox and Hounds, just off Highway 167, 2 miles east of the Holy Hill Shrine. Order your free gift cards at foxandhoundsrestaurant.com. It's one of my favorite places. It's the Fox and Hounds.
We see you out there being an original, which is why you shop at Blaine's Farm and Fleet, because you know we have everything you want and need at prices that give you the most for your money. Now that we're past the holidays, it's time to gift yourself men's and women's zero exposure outerwear, half price, 25% off select Carhartt graphic hoodies. Plus, rewards members save $4 on select bags of Blaine's Farm and Fleet dog food. Find the value you need to do things your way. Blaine's Farm and Fleet. Be an original.
Vince Vitrano for Hunt's Flooring in Greenfield. Still time to make a remodeling splash before you bring guests over for the holidays. In the Vitrano home, we did hardwood floors on the entire first level. From final measurement to install day was just about a week. Because Phil and Tony and the team over there at Hunt's have a giant warehouse on Highway 100, they may have your carpet, wood, or vinyl in stock right now. They'll work with you to find something in your budget, and it's go time. Hunt's is ready for your project soon as you are. Tell them Vinny sent you. HuntsFlooring.com.
You want to feel important. You want to be a part of something bigger, something that matters and can help change things. You want to feel like you belong. We know. We felt that way too. And that's why we did something about it. We aren't just Army National Guard soldiers. We are normal people just like you. And together, we can make a difference. Take on your legacy. Visit NationalGuard.com to find out more.
Sponsored by the Wisconsin Army National Guard. Aired by the Wisconsin Broadcasters Association and this station.
Last word on this before we move on. There's a lot of polling out there, and most Americans do not approve of how ICE is conducting their business, and that does matter in the public arena. And at some point, something has to change. Otherwise, we'll have more violence. We have local news coming up with Connie.
ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. There's a meeting at the White House today as the foreign ministers of Greenland and Denmark sit down with Vice President J.D. Vance and Secretary of State Marco Rubio. President Trump saying that nothing but U.S. control of Greenland would be acceptable to him. House Oversight Committee Chairman James Comer says they'll issue contempt of Congress charges against Bill and Hillary Clinton for not appearing at a hearing today on Jeffrey Epstein. ABC's Jay O'Brien on Capitol Hill.
Now, the next steps here are crucial. If the committee does vote to hold the Clintons in contempt, it triggers a full House vote. And if that House vote passes, then it goes to the Department of Justice for possible criminal charges.
The Clintons did issue a letter saying the committee should be forcing the Department of Justice to follow the law and release all the Epstein files as ordered to do so. NASA preparing to return 4 SpaceX astronauts to Earth because one of them is sick. If all goes smoothly, they will undock this afternoon. This is ABC News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 10:31. I'm Connie Weber. 2 police officers involved in a traffic crash in Mount Pleasant. Police say the squad car crashed into a car with one person inside around 7:30 Monday night. Nobody receiving any life-threatening injuries. Wisconsin State Patrol investigating, and no cause has been released. A former pastor found guilty of repeated sexual assault of a child at his Northwest Wisconsin cabin from 2005 to 2010. Jeffrey Charles owned the cabin in the town of Summit, where parishioners at the Neighbors to Nations Church in Princeton, Minnesota would often travel. A jury determined Charles sexually assaulted the then 3-year-old, the abuse ending when the girl was 8. Charles was previously convicted of sex abuse in Iowa back in 1997. He's expected to be sentenced to life in prison without parole. A new Amazon warehouse could soon be coming to Sheboygan despite opposition from some residents. Sheboygan's Finance and Personal Committee moving forward a contract that would allow Amazon to purchase 58 acres to build a logistics facility near I-43. Supporters say it'll create hundreds of jobs. The proposal heads to the Sheboygan Common Council for a vote next week. Time for news about your money and the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Markets are still down. Dow is off 89 points, 49,102. NASDAQ down 287 at 23,422. S&P 500 down 49 points at 6,914. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com. Taking a look at the roads now with your WTMJ Time Saver traffic. A rash of crashes this morning. Many of them have been cleared off. We do have a new one. The ramp from Drexel Avenue to 41 North closed because of a crash. Also one on the exit to Highway 100 from I-94 East. Here's your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Falling temperatures today, high of 22, partly cloudy, windy, 13 overnight. Increasing cloudiness tomorrow, snow likely at night, high Thursday 24. Snow likely Friday with a high 36. Scattered snow showers on Saturday, breezy, cold, high of 21. And a chance of flurries again on Sunday, partly cloudy with a high of 17. Still 17 in Madison, 17 in Green Bay, and 21 degrees in Milwaukee. I'm Connie Weber. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 10:33.
It's a robber, and if you ignore it, it will just keep taking and taking. I know how pain can consume you. It steals the fun out of life. It steals your energy. And it's just a dark cloud over a lot of people's lives, even on the sunniest of days. But your joint pain does not have to rob you of your life or your happiness. Because at Rejuvenex, we can alleviate your pain, and that can rejuvenate your life. In a world where big box healthcare has driven pain treatment costs through the roof and has made it look like joint replacements are your only option, Rejuvenex has kept pain treatment affordable for almost anyone. And for most with insurance, including Medicare and Medicaid, we've seen pain treatment paid for by insurance with zero out-of-pocket cost to our patients. This is Rejuvenex founder Richard Salinas. Don't let pain rob you. Take action today so we can help make your joint pain go away. Call today, and there's a good chance we'll see you tomorrow.
Education changes everything. It opens doors, shapes futures, and builds the foundation for our children's success. At City Ford Collective, we're working to transform our city's schools and ensure every Milwaukee child receives the high-quality education they deserve. We've taken real steps forward, but our work is far from done. This giving season, we're asking you to join us. Together, we can secure a stronger future for our children and a stronger future for Milwaukee. To support our mission, visit cityforwardcollective.org/donate. That's cityforwardcollective.org/donate.
When you jump on the back of a bull and the gate swings, there's no middle ground. You either ride it out with 8 seconds of pure adrenaline or hit the dirt and run. Bull riding is not just a sport, it's a gamble of guts and glory. Nothing else compares. This is the PBR Unleash the Beast Tour. See the best bull riders in the world face off at Busch Light PBR Milwaukee, presented by Cooper Tires at Fiserv Forum this weekend. Ready to be cowboy? Get your tickets at Ticketmaster. It's bull time.
All right. I was a little discombobulated in the first half hour. I even missed my walking.
Your goalpost?
Yeah, which
You're usually really good at that.
I know. So apologies to Connie and ABC. I sort of walked right through the over. But anyway, I digress. Let's move forward.
let's just start
We'll
with
survive.
this. Let's start with this because I'm not a fan of these now annual constitutional amendments on our ballots.
Multiple, not even annual. It's
I'm
like
just not a
because
fan of this. Do your
So
damn
here's
work.
my question. As someone who's not a fan of them, so let's think of it like just in the last 5 years, we've had no funding to city clerk's offices or no outside funding for city clerk's offices for elections, cash bail. What were some of the other ones that we...
I know, I was just going to quickly pull up a list.
Yeah, pull up the list quickly because it's like there's a record amount of constitutional amendments in Wisconsin that have gone to a vote in the last 5 years because basically since Governor Evers and we've had divided government. So this was the one way that the Republican legislature can try to get things done that is not subject to a veto by Governor Evers. And so my question is, for the things that have come to the ballot, have you voted against them, against the change out of protest, even if you agreed with the change, or did you still vote with what you thought was best for the state?
Okay, I completely missed what you're asking me.
So let's say, because like my thing with this, because I agree with you as far as like this is a dumb way to govern, to constantly be changing our Constitution because you don't have, like, you can't compromise with the governor, and like this is the way you're making new laws is by changing the Constitution, and then the ballot measures themselves are so stupidly and confusingly written that even lawyers have reached out to me because I always make explainers of what the amendments actually mean, being like, this is such a stupid way to word this. And so do you ever, out of protest for this being the way that they're trying to make laws, vote against the measure?
Yes.
Okay, that's the question.
Yes, and here's another thing. I'm doing like three things at the same time, trying to just get the list. It's like hard to just find a list of because we've had quite a few over the last.
Quite a few.
I guess for me, it's what you just said. It's like the legislature creates the law. The court ultimately decides.
And then the governor signs it.
Yeah, and the governor signs, and then the courts ultimately decide if the law goes too far, does it go for whatever. The final arbiter, if there's such a thing, and of course, we argue about this in Wisconsin all the time because it's become sort of the status quo. We have these constant arguments about politics. I just wish that the legislature would actually be a body that doesn't always just reflect one side that has power. I don't get that. I never have. I'm old enough to remember when Democrats had this stranglehold and they did all the stuff that they did, and some of them went to jail for it, which is probably, this is
Who went in Wisconsin?
Yeah. I mean,
who went to jail?
This is like
prison, whatever.
I mean, it's like 20 years ago.
Okay.
Chuck Qualla is the name that comes to mind. I could have it wrong, but
What did he do?
Again, I don't know off the top of my head.
I've never heard that story before.
If I'm wrong, I'll admit I'm wrong, but that's just the name that pops into my head. And if I'm wrong, please correct me.
What is this, Illinois?
Right. So I think when you look at this stuff, is it beyond our expectation that as citizens, we should expect our legislature to represent all of us? I understand the power of the majority. I understand they get to pick the heads of these committees and the chair people and all this. I get how that works. But I guess as a citizen, I would ask, how is that serving us? Because we're constantly fighting and taking these things to the courts. And we've had enough legal experts in this studio over the last half a year that basically say we're abdicating all responsibility, not just at this level, but the federal level, to the courts. And how's that working out for us? It's crap. So you can keep doing this, Wisconsin legislature. And look, I understand, again, how politics work. I understand you want to get these things codified so the next administration that you probably will not be in charge of or have any say, I guess, if the Democrats do the same thing that you've done to them, which I guess wouldn't be surprising because that's how politics plays now. I guess there has to be a better way here. That's my frustration.
It's my frustration as well. But at least giving background if you have not heard about what these amendments would be. So there's two, both passed out of the assembly yesterday. And one would ban government bodies from, quote, discriminating against or granting preferential treatment in matters of public education or employment, while the other would bar the government from closing houses of worship during times of emergency. So one's basically banning DEI as an umbrella, using it as an umbrella term. And the other is obviously dating back to when churches were forced to close during COVID. Now, both I do think, like, if you want to have debates about this and try to construct a law, but to change our Constitution, it just feels like some of these things that come for constitutional changes just feel so trivial and pointless. And then there's going to be huge campaigns and money toward getting them saying voting yes or voting no. But but for what it's worth, if these are approved in the Senate, they will be on your ballot in November.
Yeah, I mean, we've had them for photo ID and all this stuff. I understand. I don't understand, I guess, the part for me that's frustrating. And maybe you can probably sense my frustration, is that you can't find a way. I guess this is the politically naive, at least that's the people that criticize me say, to work with the other side ever. And they'll tell me, oh, we get plenty of things done that are bipartisan. Yeah, all the easy stuff. Anything hard never gets done. Never gets done. And we get these sort of things. And I was right. It's Chuck Koala charged with 20 felony counts, including extortion, misconduct in public office, and filing false election reports. So how about that?
Wow.
Yeah.
Democrat?
I believe so, yeah. Former state Senate Majority Leader. This is back in 2005, yeah. That was before I was on the radio.
I had just left California.
Yeah.
18 or 19. So yeah, I was not paying attention to Wisconsin politics back then. It doesn't surprise me that I have no memory of this.
Yeah. Interesting.
Did he act? Now I have so many more questions, but it's not going to make good radio. So let's take a break. He is Steve Scaffidi. I am Kristin Brey. This is Point Taken. We'll be right back.
If you've been thinking about a makeover for your kitchen cabinets, let me tell you why now is the perfect time. During the New Year New Kitchen event at Redo Cabinets, you'll get 75% off installation with every remodeling project, plus no interest and no payments until 2027. That's right, 2027. It's Redo Cabinets' best offer of the year. You'll transform your existing kitchen with a fresh new look and premium products made right here in the USA. Quickly transform your dated kitchen without the hassle, the stress, and the cost of a full remodel with premium cabinet refacing in just days. Learn about the options, the colors, the styles, the accessories, and the savings. The Redo Cabinets New Year New Kitchen event is on now. Get 75% off installation, plus no interest or payments until 2027. Call today for a free, no-obligation consultation. Call 414-677-6417. That's 414-677-6417. Or visit redocabinets.com. This year, don't replace, reface with Redo Cabinets.
And teammates here at WTMJ, Milwaukee Weight Loss, always a great partner. No better time than right now. Give yourself the gift of a new you in this year. Schedule your free consultation. Yes, free. Have a conversation. Just start talking about your weight and what you want to do with it. Go to MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com. Even easier, I'll give you a phone number. You want to lose 20, 30 pounds in a month or two? Here's the phone number, 262-449-1180. That's 262-449-1180, or go online at MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com.
Gruber Offices, serving the people of Wisconsin for over 30 years. Call us today if you've been injured. Gruber Offices, a proud partner of the Milwaukee Bucks. One call, that's all.
Hey, it's Christmas in January at the Mine Shaft Restaurant in Hartford, the most affordable family dining destination. It's WTMJ's John Mercure. I took my daughters to the Mine Shaft, created great memories. And the holiday decorations are still up. You can create those memories and brighten your day. The Wednesday all-you-can-eat haddock fish fry is just $8.99. It's a great fish fry, $8.99. Kids 5 and under eat free from that kids menu. It's delicious. Build your own big burger or chicken sandwich with a pile of hot fries for under $10. Desserts or buy one, get one free. It's the best Wednesday dining value anywhere. The Mine Shaft in beautiful downtown Hartford and in Oshkosh near the EAA. Walk on in today for your Wednesday all-you-can-eat haddock fish fry for $8.99. Wow, that's a great value. Serving from 10:30 a.m. Arrive early. Every Thursday, buy one pizza, get one free. No restaurant inflation at the Mine Shaft. Google it, Mine Shaft, and stop by today.
Thanks for joining us on this Hump Day edition. I feel, I'm just so discombobulated today. I don't know why.
You get enough sleep?
7 hours uninterrupted. Thank you, Advent.
How do you wear like any kind of wearable, like a Fitbit or an Apple Watch?
No,
or
I don't
Oura
like.
Ring?
I don't like to be encumbered when I sleep. You know what that means? I don't want things on me.
Oh, okay.
I don't sleep naked. If that's what.
No, I wasn't gonna go there. I was gonna ask if you're a snuggler. Like, do you like?
No,
okay.
I like my space.
You don't want to be touched.
Yeah, we have a very large bed.
Okay. So no wearables and no Kathy touching Steve during sleep.
Well, I'm not saying no Kathy ever. I'm just saying when we're asleep, we're talking about where is this going?
I don't know. How do you measure your sleep? Just look at the time.
When I go to bed, I fall asleep almost instantly. Kathy will tell you it's something like 5 seconds because I don't read stuff. I don't read screens or watch screens before I go to bed. I generally read paper, book. So I fall asleep instantly, and then the next time I have any conscious thought, it's morning, and I look at my
You never
clock.
like wake up in the middle of the night?
No, I don't. See, that's the thing. That's uninterrupted sleep.
Unencumbered mind, that's for sure.
No, I know
You
why.
never have like a racing mind where you can't fall back asleep because you're just overthinking everything. That's just a
No,
me
because
thing.
of my resolutions in the past few years to sort of let that go.
Except the Packers.
Except the Packers. And I will be honest about this. The one night that I couldn't sleep was the first of the
bear implosions.
Yeah, in Chicago. I literally slept like an hour. I was just so irritated with all of it. And then I had to revisit that. Now, at that point, it was final, and I was like, all right, I'm just moving on. So I did sleep.
Okay. All right. I don't know. That was not what we were planning to talk about. What we were planning to talk about is officially WISI is no longer in the Capitol. And we've talked about this a handful of times. WISI being basically the C-SPAN of Wisconsin, a nonprofit that would record committee hearings, just basically everything that would go on in the Capitol. And a lot of political reporters, especially those who do not live in Madison, would rely on that footage. And it's one thing that they're not in there. And they do have a GoFundMe. I guess I saw this morning, the GoFundMe is set for $250,000. And that's 3 months of their operating budget. They have about 8,000 right now. So
I don't get it. I mean, this is such a great asset. We should have the opportunity to see what's going on in our
Well, and I agree. But apparently now GOP leaders in the legislature have realized that there is a 20-something-year-old ban on the public recording legislative hearings. And they have decided to enforce that ban. So AJ Bayapur from CBS 58, I saw him tweet this out this morning, and it was a picture of signs in the gallery or outside of the gallery. And said assembly galleries are located on the 3rd floor west. Cell phones, cameras, or other electronic usage is strictly prohibited. And he's like, I've never seen these signs out there before.
Yeah, apparently it is the law.
I mean, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, they didn't realize that there was a ban, but this is the thing. They didn't realize there was a ban. They now realize that there is. So to me, it just doesn't look like, it's not a good look.
It's not a good look, but somebody texted, we must have mentioned this last week or something on the show, or I did. There's a technology piece to this. Given how easy it is now to take actual video and change it completely, move it around, change the voices, change the words with AI technology, that might be part of the reason. So people have the ability to go in and record something and make it sound completely different, look different, be full of hate-filled words or incorrect things that aren't really said by the person they're recording. That's some of this issue.
So the thinking is by prohibiting average, like just members of the public,
right?
Because they're not prohibiting credentialed media from recording. So by saying that you can't, like if it's credentialed media, the likelihood of them altering that footage, obviously very, very low.
Right. But if Joe Schmo goes in, because, I mean, you see this stuff, I can't tell. It's not the real person saying it, and they're saying things that the real person would never say.
Like the Amy Klobuchar, Sydney Sweeney fake comment.
Someone took, going back to that original conversation about Ben Johnson, they took what he said, the real F the Packers, and added even more, called Green Bay people, fat drunks. And it was like, okay, oh my God, did he say that too? I had to go Google that and see if he actually said that. So that's the danger of that. That's just one argument of why this may be in place. It's a convenient argument. I would also argue that.
Okay, so if that's not the reason, I still just don't think it's a good look as far as like
transparency is a good thing.
Transparency is a good thing. Even if you're a member of, here's a solution then. Even if you're a member of the committee and the hearing, use your own phone. If you're actually committed to transparency, if it is this other thing that you're worried that there is going to be altercations made to footage that if the public is in there, we all have phones. Stream it from your own phone.
Yeah. And what would the response to that be, you think? If a legislator did that?
I'm talking about if Republican leadership are the ones who are saying we're enforcing the public not doing this, a potential move to say still uphold transparency would be like, so instead, it's not going to be great footage because it's not like professional cameras, but at least from our phone, we're going to set up on a tripod that you can get for $20 off of Amazon and stream it still, so people still have access to it.
I want complete transparency, even so far as I know that many lawmakers now shield their emails and stuff. They're sort of hidden behind this cloak of, well, we don't maintain those records and all that stuff. I don't like it. If a constituent, and they also use the argument that constituents have to be protected, which I get. It's like the HIPAA rule for non-medical things. I want to see what's going on in our government. I want complete transparency, as awkward as and uncomfortable that might be. That's good for us. Because if we don't have that, stuff will happen. I was going to use a different word. Will happen, and we're not going to be happy about that either. And at that point, it might be too late. That's the danger here. Quick break.
Recently, a seller that unfortunately ended up choosing another agent called me. She said she made a mistake, and what she was expressing to me sounded like she kind of was bullied into signing with him. Is it typical? Not always, but it will never happen when you hire a Century 21 Benefit Realty agent. I want our agents to be able to look in the mirror and say, I'd want to work with me. Not because they're good at saying what you want to hear or offer the lowest commission, but because of trust. Because if you're not feeling that from your agent, that's a problem. And I don't want that. At 1.9% on the listing side of your sale with our commission capped at $19,000, Century 21 Benefit Realty leads with a very fair and transparent commission structure with maximum marketing that can get your home sold fast and for the best price. And saving money matters, but working with someone who will tell you exactly what you need to know up front, that creates trust. And that matters too. This is Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty, benefit-realty.com, where you pay less for full service. Each office is independently owned and operated.
All different types of injury lawyers advertise. Cartoon lawyers, bobblehead lawyers, and folks chasing ambulances with text messages. Our clients don't want or need such lawyers. Our clients know, like, and trust that Pasternak and Zergabel will help in their time of need. I'm Jeff Zergabel of Pasternak and Zergabel. Frank Pasternak and I are excellent personal injury lawyers in our community. If you need help after an injury, go to Pasternak and Zergabel at injurywisconsin.com. That's injurywisconsin.com.
Don't miss the Milwaukee Boat Show, January 16th through 25th at State Fair Park. See over 300 boats from more than 80 manufacturers. Get that boat and get that deal.
At Capri Communities, they believe people of every age deserve to enjoy life.
I recently moved my dad into a Capri community. He has gained such new independence. His falls have decreased, he's eating healthy meals, and going on great new adventures. Knowing Dad is in a great place really gives me the peace of mind I needed. And now, we're both enjoying life again.
Give the care that has your parent enjoying life again at Capri Communities. Get started today at capricommunities.com.
At Advent, nasal congestion and sinus infections can be solved with an in-office 20-minute procedure. Elsewhere, expect surgery.
Hey, this is WTMJ Steve Scaffidi. Have you listened to WTMJ Outdoors yet? Well, what are you waiting for? Every Saturday at 2 right here on 620 WTMJ, we celebrate the best of Wisconsin outdoors, from hunting to fishing, rock climbing, ATVs. This week, even though it's the dead of winter here in Wisconsin and the great beyond, we're talking about ice fishing. Joining us from Minocqua, the owner of Raleigh and Helen's Muskie Shop, talking fishing, ice fishing here in Wisconsin.
It's WTMJ Outdoors, presented by Outdoor Living Unlimited. WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee. From the Annex Wealth Management Studios, this is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
I'm just inclined to let this play out the rest of this hour.
You can do a reset?
I'm going to
reset button?
I'm going to do a hard reset.
You get some more coffee?
I don't know if I need more coffee.
Okay.
I need more me time.
You need some more jumping jacks?
I don't like jumping. That's one of the jumping rope and jumping jacks. I'll do all the other fitness stuff, and I did a lot of that over the last few years. It's like those two things I do not like.
You just don't like jumping?
Yeah, jumping is not a fun activity for me. You get old, you don't really want to jump off the ground that much.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Fair. All right. Well, coming up next, we're still doing more Wisconsin news, as far as, not that there's not a lot of things to be talking about nationally and internationally, but also there's still a lot of things happening here. One of which I think is interesting, as far as a new proposal to extend recess to 60 minutes.
From 30.
And I'm trying to remember how long our recess was.
It wasn't 60 minutes.
I don't think it was 60 minutes
I thought
either.
it was 15.
And I feel like that feels more, there was like, but I don't know if it'd be a full 60 minutes. If like 15 minutes in the morning and then lunch recess and then 15 minutes in the afternoon. That sounds maybe right. Anyways, we're going to talk a little bit more about that. I'm in favor. I'm going to say that. Oh, there we go. Can you not jump around when you go to Badger games?
I just do the handstand. I haven't been to a Badgers game in like a long time.
All right.
I do endorse that though. That's
the
good
jump
stuff.
around?
Yeah.
One of the best college traditions
Maybe the
out
best.
there. Yep. All right, we'll be back with more Wisconsin news and Ask Us Anything at the bottom of the next hour on Point Taken.
There's a lot of noise coming out of Washington these days, but one thing retirees in Wisconsin can't afford to ignore is the new Big Beautiful Bill. Sounds harmless, right? But here's the truth. The changes buried in this bill could have a serious impact on your retirement. At Drake & Associates, we've dug into the details, and we want to make sure you know what's really at stake. The Big Beautiful Bill includes sweeping updates to tax brackets, Social Security thresholds, Medicare premiums, and retirement account rules. And for many retirees, it could mean higher taxes on your savings, more limits on deductions, and unexpected changes to your income plan. Maybe you're already retired, or maybe you're just a few years away. Either way, what you don't know could cost you thousands. That's why we're offering Wisconsin residents a free educational guide to help you understand how the new bill may impact retirees and questions to discuss with your trusted financial advisor. Just text the word tax to 414-897-9522. That's tax, T-A-X, to 414-897-9522. You'll get immediate access to expert insights from the team at Drake & Associates, retirement planners who have been serving Wisconsin for over 20 years. We focus on tax-efficient retirement planning, helping you keep more of your money, avoiding surprises, and staying ahead of the curve no matter what Congress throws your way. So before the Big Beautiful Bill takes a bite out of your hard-earned savings, let's make sure your plan is designed to help prepare for uncertainty. Text TAX to 414-897-9522. That's TAX to 414-897-9522. Drake & Associates, helping build retirement confidence right here in Wisconsin.
Drake & Associates LLC is an independent investment advisory firm that offers a variety of different investment vehicles. This commercial is provided for informational purposes only and should not be construed as individual investment advice. Drake & Associates LLC does not provide legal or tax advice. Past performance is not indicative of future performance.
The pulse of the Milwaukee Bucks, straight from a Bucks legend.
Can't get it off. Marcus Johnson will, though. Can't leave him alone for a 12.
Tap into Here District with Marcus Johnson on Bucks Plus. Marcus and his son Chris offer a weekly beat on Bucks basketball. Get your questions answered and hear from the biggest names in basketball. Find Here District with Marcus Johnson at bucks.com/plus on the Bucks app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Prizes, flyaways, even cash money. You want it? We've got it. Find a list of all contests and official rules by visiting WTMJ.com/contests. That's WTMJ.com/contests. Start the new year off on a healthier note by taking active liver supplements from New Nordic every day. Available online at Amazon or NewNordicUSA.com or at your local CVS, ShopRite, Meijer Grocery, or Wegmans. Transform your home today. Exterior Pros. Trust the pros.
Your trusted and relevant source for news, sports, traffic, and weather. We are Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
11 o'clock, we're at 21 degrees. Look for falling temperatures today after a high of only 22. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, I'm Connie Weber. One person is dead after a car crashed into a tree on Milwaukee's south side last night, Wilbur and 93rd. The deceased has been identified as 41-year-old Elaine Corbett, a passenger in the vehicle driven by a 60-year-old who was arrested. Milwaukee police say the vehicle was speeding and lost control. 2 police officers were involved in a traffic crash in Mount Pleasant.
Police say the squad crashed into a car with one person inside around 7:30 Monday night. No one received any life-threatening injuries. The Wisconsin State Patrol is investigating the crash and no cause has been released. Elizabeth Linton in WTMJ News.
After more than a decade, 2 men allegedly involved in the death of 16-year-old Corey Stingley now face murder charges. Back in 2012, medical examiners ruled Stingley's death a homicide due to asphyxia after he was physically restrained by multiple people during a suspected shoplifting incident at a West Dallas convenience store. 13 years later, special prosecutors filed felony murder charges against 67-year-old Robert Behringer and 39-year-old Jesse Cole. The Milwaukee Journal Sentinel reports the men have agreed to a deferred prosecution agreement in the case, which means the charges will be dropped if certain conditions are met. Both men scheduled to appear in court on Thursday. Today, the House Oversight Committee investigating Jeffrey Epstein will vote to hold former President Bill Clinton and former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton in contempt of Congress after they defied subpoenas to appear before the committee. Committee Chair James Comer.
We're going to vote on it in committee Wednesday, so we're giving plenty of notice. We're having a markup, a regularly scheduled markup for the House Oversight Committee. We will mark up criminal contempt of Congress charges for both Clintons for defying a legal subpoena.
In a letter, the Clintons say they've already tried to tell the committee what they knew and also said they had no knowledge of Epstein's crimes. They also call the investigation partisan. Minnesota lawmakers criticizing the suspension of temporary protected status for Somali immigrants as anger there grows by the day over last week's deadly ICE shooting. This woman, who's a Somali immigrant, says she's shaken by the reversal.
There's no place to go back there. I don't think so. It's not safe to go back right now.
Meanwhile, the Justice Department says it won't be investigating the fatal shooting of Renee Good by an ICE agent in Minneapolis last week. Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche made the announcement Tuesday. The 37-year-old shot in her vehicle in what federal officials argue was justified self-defense, sparking protests around the country. Wisconsin lawmakers are considering a bill to cap ticket resale prices.
The proposal would require venues and resellers to show the full cost of a ticket up front, fees included, and stop companies from raising the price after its first display. It would also ban selling tickets above face value for commercial purposes unless the event operator signs off. Violations would bring $1,000 fines per incident, and sellers would have to give up any profit from illegal sales. The bill is still moving through the legislature. Nizer Spencer, WTMJ News.
NASA preparing for its first ever medical evacuation from the International Space Station. The 4 members of Crew 11 expected to undock from the ISS later today, with splashdown set for Thursday morning off the coast of California. The crew, which is made up of 2 NASA astronauts, their Japanese counterpart, and a Russian cosmonaut, was supposed to return in mid to late February. Time now for news about your money. The WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. The Dow is down 268 points. NASDAQ down 367. S&P 500 down 70. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com. Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 11:04.
Hi, this is John Neal, CPA, founder of the Neal Group and best-selling author on how to have less stress with the IRS. Happy New Year. Hopefully you enjoyed the holidays and spent time relaxing. Now it's tax time. I know. It's not the most wonderful time of the year, wondering if you are getting a refund or owe, waiting for all the forms to come, and wondering what is deductible. Control the situation instead of letting it control you. Let us help you understand all the new tax laws, how they affect you, and how to take advantage of them. Last year, we helped Janet and Norm go from owing $43,000 to getting a $500 refund. We can help you, too. The first meeting is free. Call now, 414-325-2040, or visit nealgroup.net. You earned it. We help you keep it. That's 414-325-2040 or nealgroup.net.
When you jump on the back of a bull and the gate swings, there's no middle ground. You either ride it out with 8 seconds of pure adrenaline or hit the dirt and run. Bull riding is not just a sport, it's a gamble of guts and glory. Nothing else compares. This is the PBR Unleash the Beast Tour. See the best bull riders in the world faced off at Busch Light PBR Milwaukee, presented by Cooper Tires at Fiserv Forum this weekend. Ready to be cowboy? Get your tickets at Ticketmaster. It's bull time.
Hey, John Mercure here for Mend Studios. You deserve to feel better. You deserve to feel healthy. You deserve to feel great about yourself. Mend Studios has a long-term wellness as the goal. That's how they're going to do it. That's how they're going to take care of you. I know and trust the therapists at Mend Studio. They customize every single treatment, and they've got multiple locations. They're in Mequon and Brookfield, both convenient, both easy to get to. Start at the website, mendstudio.com. I never feel better than I do after a session at Mend. Mendstudio.com.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. Bucks bested on their home floor. Milwaukee lost 139-106 at home to the Minnesota Timberwolves. They head back on the road Thursday for a matchup with the San Antonio Spurs. Wisconsin men's basketball team kept its winning streak alive. John Blackwell hit a three-pointer at the buzzer to give the Badgers a 78-75 road win over Minnesota. The Marquette men were blown out 92-68 by St. John's on the road. And a pair of women's games today. Marquette plays at Seton Hall. Milwaukee on the road to play Northern Kentucky. Badger Sports Update sponsored by Siding Unlimited. Siding and a whole lot more. Take a look at the roads now with your WTMJ Time Saver traffic. Still working through a bunch of crashes. We have a new one, I-43 southbound at 6th Street. This crash is blocking the left 2 lanes. The ramp from Drexel Avenue to I-41 North is closed because of a crash. A crash on the exit to Wisconsin Highway 100 from I-94 East. The one on the ramp from 84th Street to I-94 West has been cleared off. This traffic report sponsored by Marty's Pizza in Delafield.
Remember Marty's Pizza.
Right off I-94 and Highway 83 in Delafield.
Here's your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Falling temperatures today, blustery, high of only 22. Partly cloudy, windy tonight with lows around 13. Wind chills 0 to about 5 degrees. Increasing cloudiness, snow likely tomorrow night with a high of 24. Snow likely Friday, some accumulation, high 36. Scattered snow showers on Saturday, breezy, cold, high of 21. And a chance of flurries Sunday, high of only 17. 17 in Madison and in Green Bay, 21 degrees in Milwaukee. I'm Connie Weber. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 11:08.
Broadcasting live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue. It's time for Point Taken. Here are your hosts, Steve Scaffidi and Kristin Brey.
Well, welcome back to the second hour of the Hump Day edition of Point Taken. And I'm actually interested because you, Steve, have been very adamant about your opinion that schools should stick to the basics, stick to English, stick to math, and until you have mastery over those subjects, all this other stuff, as you like to call it, music, art, gym, not important.
I didn't say not important. I just said you got to get the other stuff right. Otherwise, why are you in school?
Fair.
Which I think is a fair point.
So how do you feel? So right now, I was actually unaware that the under current law, when it comes to recess, in the Wisconsin Department of Public Instructions, no more than 30 minutes per day.
Yeah.
That I did not know that there is a max limit on how many minutes a school can have recess. Now, a new bill introduced by State Representative William Penterman says that public schools and charter schools in Wisconsin shall schedule at least 1 hour of recess time every day for kindergarten through 6th grade students. How do you feel about that?
That seems a lot. That's a big number. I mean, they go to school.
Do you think 30 minutes is enough?
Yeah, if it's just play, if it's not structured or, two things I want. At least 30 minutes.
But not 60 minutes.
Not 60 minutes. Maybe 45 if you want to negotiate. But they have only so much time during a school day, and they're not that long when you factor in lunchtime, too. I assume this means...
I think this is part of lunchtime.
They're counting this as part of lunchtime.
That's what I think. I don't know exactly how because you have your lunch, and then there was always time after lunch to go outside.
And we're talking about elementary because last time I checked, I don't think middle school or high school has recess. They just have lunchtime.
We had lunchtime, yeah. When I think about back to Cherokee Middle School in Madison, we didn't have like a morning recess or an afternoon recess, but we had a fair amount of time to go eat lunch. And then I remember spending a fair amount of time outside, even in the winter.
We went out in the winter time.
Yeah, unless it was really cold, we were outside.
Yeah, the only time you
But that was through 8th grade.
Yeah, so you went out in middle school.
And then we had off-campus lunch at West, which obviously isn't like recess playing outside, but we would go to like Big Mike's subs and like walk around the neighborhood. And we could eat in the lunchroom, but a lot of times, especially once you got a car, you didn't.
I literally lived a half a block from the school, and I still ate the school lunch.
I like this because I'm also like for Frankie's daycare right now, or preschool or whatever we're calling it. Like they go outside unless it's way too cold. They go outside for at least part of the day every day. And I think the Montessori method of unstructured playtime and the rules of kids having to engage with themselves and make their own games and make their own rules and like the socialization that goes into having to figure out like who your friends are and playing together. And obviously there's life lessons that come with that are sometimes hard. But I think only having structured 8-hour days for kids is not the best thing for their development.
Now, I've talked to
just
parents.
like treating it like a conveyor belt where they're just like sitting there and just.
I know.
Yeah.
You want some freedom of expression in a student's day. And people like to call me like a, strict back to the basics guy. And in some ways I am, but also some ways I'm not, because one of the things that I didn't like about sort of the unstructured recesses of the past is it's the domain of bullies. And I've talked to parents both on the show and away from the show. I mean, heartfelt, sad conversations about people who were forced to move from their school district because their kids got bullied and the school did nothing for them. Or at least that was their takeaway.
Yeah.
So I get that that's still a thing, and maybe in this, world we live in now where bullying doesn't end on the playground, maybe that's even more of a problem.
That was going to be my question as far as, was it bullying that was specifically happening at school or was it happening after school? 'Cause that's what I keep hearing is that the with social media now, it's not confined to the school day anymore, and that you can be reached at any point in the day with digital whatever of being bullied and harassed even when you're at home. So you think your counter to this is that it gives kids who are bullies more opportunities to bully?
It could, but here's the caveat for me: if we're ever gonna do something like this, and I have no idea if this petition, whether this law goes forward
As
or
any
not.
app, yeah.
That's one thing, but structure and the rules of engagement matter. I would never allow a unsupervised free-for-all to happen 30 minutes or 60 minutes. There has to be built into this a requirement for school districts to have individuals on sites out there, I don't know who it is, teachers, staff, whatever, that are watching these situations. I don't want kids to be just left alone for an hour.
I mean,
I know what you're going to say, but I'd be careful with that one, because I've actually gone to school. Here's a real story. A mother asked me one time, I was mayor then, and she goes, my kid is bullied at recess at school. I would love for you to go to that school with the school's permission and go up to my child and talk to him on his resource break, because you're the mayor, people know who you are. So I did that. I sat down with the kid for like 5 or 10 minutes, just said, hey, how's your day going? I think it was his birthday or something around his birthday. And so we made it that way. And hey, I'm just coming to your school and say hi for your birthday. And the mom thought that was so cool that at least one moment her kid was one of the cool kids. Look who's showing up. I was nothing. I was a local mayor, but it was something to the kid. Those things matter.
No, I understand. But what I was going to say is, like, when you went and saw this kid, was there no admin like out watching the kids?
They're not highly visible. Let me just put it. They give the kids a lot of freedom. And, part of the problem is we have a culture now that sort of celebrates bullies in the adult fashion all the time. So why are we surprised that kids wouldn't be learning that behavior? I'm sure that's where it comes from, because maybe with rare exception, kids don't grow up to be just genetically bullies, I guess, right? So they learn that behavior and they demonstrate it on the playgrounds. And I don't want that to be, if it's already bad at 15 minutes or whatever your school district has, even worse at 60. It gives more opportunity for mischief and mayhem. So that's my concern. Structured, sure. Again, every school's different. Every city's different. I mean, you have to have some leeway there. Arbitrarily saying it's 60 minutes, that's a lot of time in a short school day. And I'm not even sure if, again.
Even if it was broken up, like 15 minutes, half hour, 15 minutes?
Yeah, maybe. But I'm also seeing a lot of texts on this because I knew this would be a hot topic. Play is important. I'm not denying that. It's really important for kids.
And also, I want to get back to this because the line between kids learning how to problem solve and mitigating bullying, and where is that line? And I want to ask your thoughts on how do you stand up to bullies, or how do you teach your kids, as I have my own story with my 2-year-old, when it comes to encouraging your kids to build the skill set so they can stand up for themselves without necessarily just punching back in the nose. All right, stay with us. It's Point Taken.
Get the help you need Saturday morning with How To Radio. At 7, it's the WTMJ Fix-It Show with David Nason, featuring this week's guest, Capital Heating and Cooling. At 9, plan your dream vacation with the Fox World Travel Show. And at 10, get financial guidance during Money Talk. Contact Annex Wealth Management for an unbiased review of your investments at annexwealth.com. How To Radio, Saturday mornings on WTMJ.
Hey, it's WTMJ Steve Scaffidi for Annex Wealth Management. The new year brings fresh opportunities to take control of your financial future. Always the case with Annex Wealth Management. Many people are watching the headlines and wondering what's ahead. Annex Wealth Management can take you from uncertainty into understanding with personalized guidance and comprehensive planning. Annex builds diversified, tax-aware portfolios with the aim of managing risk and supporting your long-term financial goals. They're professionals, and they got a lot of them, help you evaluate strategies such as Roth conversions, thoughtful withdrawal planning, and portfolio positioning to help move forward with clarity rather than concern. Maybe you're selling a business, ready to retire soon. You can join me and some of the team at Annex next Tuesday, January 20th at 1 p.m. Selling a business, where to start. We'll discuss strategies and insight into the sale of your business while taking your questions live, which is a great asset for learning more about any subject at Annex. You can click the events tab at annexwealth.com. Annex delivers coordinated expertise with a team of CFPs, CFAs, CPAs, PhDs, and attorneys. Start the new year by giving yourself the gift of a financial plan. Visit annexwealth.com. Click on the Get Started button. Know the difference with a fee-only fiduciary.
It's Gina Della. You've heard me define what makes Pella Windows and Doors different. Let me introduce you to the woman behind the billboards, commercials, and share my extraordinary journey of resilience, reinvention, and shattering glass ceilings every Saturday morning at 6:30 on 620 WTMJ and anywhere you stream podcasts for What's the Difference with Gina Della to discuss business coaching across all industries, featuring successful executives, entrepreneurs, and mentors along the way. This is a story you won't want to miss.
Welcome back to Point Taken. I'm Kristin. He is Steve. We're talking about unstructured play and a proposal in the Wisconsin legislature to increase the now cap of schools can't have more than 30 minutes of recess, and a new proposal that would increase that to 60 minutes. And going back and forth as far as Steve's big concern, if I can summarize it, is more that if it's unsupervised.
Yes, that is exactly my concern.
The doors that open to increased amounts of bullying. And my question now that I'm a mom, so I think back to the time, specifically middle school. So my 6th grade, I went from going to private Catholic school, and I switched to the public middle school. And pretty quickly, the group of girlfriends that I got, like, I don't know, I don't want to say initiated, it wasn't a gang, but like the group of girls that kind of like adopted me, since I didn't go to elementary school with any of these girls, were kind of like the popular girls. And there was one in particular who was definitely a mean girl. And at some point I was really close with her. And then there was another point where like, pretty much like she stole money from me when I slept over at her house.
Wow.
And by the time I got to school on Monday, she had turned the entire group against me. So like I couldn't sit with them at lunch. They were like teasing me, bullying me. And this, like, it went on for like months. And like, this was my group of friends. And I had to figure out how to navigate that situation. And eventually, like, we did get one of this counselor, like the school counselors involved. And some of those, then the mean girl actually moved away and wasn't at our school anymore, which was a good thing. But like, I think back to that a lot, and it sticks out to me, not only because it was painful at the time, but I also think it taught me a lot of life lessons about having to navigate relationships, and also navigating like, who are your real friends, and learning to make other friends when these people don't really show up for you, and stuff like that. And so there is this fine line of like letting kids figure it out. And that's included at recess, but also these different relationships, and like, how much do you intervene when bullying goes too far and kids' mental health is on the line versus like letting them learn how to navigate and build relationships and also problem solve. What do you see it as?
I mean, obviously, the obvious line is physical contact, physical abuse. That can't be allowed in any.
Well, and that's just assault, right? Like
Right.
that's assault, brother. Like that is like, and when you're an adult, you will get arrested for that, and you can press charges. So
But
yes, I agree with that.
But having said that, when I was in grade school, we were pounding on each other all the time. We had bullies. We probably were knocking each other around for the dumbest things, including like the outcome of a baseball game. I mean, we just fought a lot. And often there was very little teacher. They just kind of let, if it got bad enough, they'd pull us off when we were bleeding. But we just pounded on each other. Now,
And
is that the way?
looking back at it, do you think that was a good thing or a bad thing?
I didn't like it. But it's survival at that point. There was a lot less rules of engagement then than there are now. For example, a texter brought it up a little bit earlier in our text line, 855-616-1620. My generation is, your parents would say goodbye to you in the morning and maybe see you later at dinner time. There was no interaction. There was no texting. There was no how you do. How's your day going, honey?
There's actually a new stat that I think I saw last year that working moms in 2025 spend more time with their kids than stay-at-home moms did in like the 70s. Because between like how much more helicopter parenting there is now, how much more of like structured playtime of we have this piano lesson and then this is gymnastics and stuff like that, and like actually playing with your kid instead of being like, go, you do your thing and we're gonna do our thing.
Yeah, I mean, the classic example is Halloween. We took a pillowcase, we went out, they saw us, it was already dark, they saw us a few hours later, unless we came back and got another pillowcase and filled that one up. It was unstructured, it was completely unsupervised, but it was a freedom that we had that we don't have now. And there's a lot of reasons for that, including the violence against young kids and some of the crazy stories that we've talked about over the decades. Look, if this makes kids healthier, I'm a fan. But again, I want some rules in place. If you're going to do this, don't just arbitrarily pick a number and say it's an hour. What's the science here? What's the data say? Is it going to keep kids more engaged in school when they're in class? Is this all this fresh air and fun? Is that going to make them want to go back and study biology or dissect a frog? I don't know. Whatever they do in...
Did you like dissecting a frog?
I did. I took advanced biology and got an A+ in it. That's how much I loved.
We had to do fetal pigs. We didn't do frogs.
We did cats too, which you think about that. That's the 1970s. We dissected.
Where did they get the cats from?
I have no idea. There's a picture of me, I think, holding up my cats at some point. Somebody in our yearbook has a picture of them holding up the cat. You think that would fly now?
No.
Because people love their cats.
Do they still have physical yearbooks?
That's a good question. I don't know. Somebody who's out there who's
as a high school kid, do they still?
Would they just have a digital version?
Yeah, like
no. I think they must, because you have to sign. They still must have that. Somebody.
And are they in color? Because I think ours were still in black and white.
My high school graduation picture, which I will send you a picture of if you text me. Actually, I'll just post it because I don't want to answer a million texts. Is black and white.
Yeah.
And it looks nothing like me.
Could you grow a beard your senior year of high school?
No, the year after.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let's take another break. We'll come back and finish this conversation. But also at 11:35, we will have Ask Us Anything. So if you want to start sending your questions in now, 855-616-1620. We will answer all of your questions coming up in like 10 minutes. This is Point Taken.
Be our eyes on the road. See something out there that I should know about?
Hi, Debbie. I just thought I'd let you know eastbound 94 has what looks like a pretty bad accident.
Call me, Debbie Lazaga, on the WTMJ traffic tip line, 414-238-9329.
Hi, Deb. It's Mark. 894 West. It's a parking lot.
The drive affects you. Why not be part of it?
Westbound 94, just west of 27th Street, two-car crash.
Give me a call, 414-238-9329.
Hey, it's WTMJ's Kristin Brey, and if you are in the market for a new dentist, you should check out my dentist, Dr. James Michaels at Economowalk Dental Care. Dr. Michaels is committed to providing you with the highest level of care possible. I can assure you that he will prioritize your needs no matter how sensitive, just like he did with mine. So whether you need a simple cleaning, an exam, teeth whitening, or a more complex dental procedure, Economowalk Dental will always make you feel as comfortable as possible and give you and your family an amazing smile. And it doesn't have to break the bank. Dr. Michael's fantastic staff can set you up with a no-interest payment plan. We all have to go to the dentist, so do not put it off any longer. Call and make an appointment today with my dentist, Dr. James Michaels at Economowalk Dental Care. drmichaelsdentalcare.com or call 262-567-7224.
Winter would be pretty bleak without my friends at Fleet Farm. They're my one-stop shop for everything ice fishing. My boots, bibs, augers, scoopers, rods, reels. I mean, Fleet Farm's got all the best ice fishing gear. Hook, line, and sinker. And duct tape, too, if you need it. You'll always need it. Take it from me, John Gillespie. Fleet Farm's got everything you need to gear up for a great year on the ice.
Oh my gosh, this is going to be absolutely incredible. We're taking a trip this year called Treasures of Egypt. It includes Jordan, Petra, the Dead Sea, a 7-night Nile River cruise on a beautiful boat. It's going to be mystic and magical. It's September 24th, 2026. Stunning world-class itinerary, the Great Pyramids, the Towering Sphinx, that 7-night Nile River cruise, the tombs of Tutankhamun in the Valley of the Kings. It's an amazing itinerary. Let me get you the information. John at WTMJ.com. You send me an email. I send you our beautiful brochure with all the info, including pricing. John at WTMJ.com. Colette Vacations is our leader. They are the best. They'll provide us in top-tier hotels, lots of food, lots of drink, lots of history. Let me take you to the treasures of Egypt, Petra, and the Dead Sea. Send me an email, john at WTMJ.com. JOHN at WTMJ.com. Egypt this September.
All right, let the record show. Producer Jazz said no to me during the break, which I didn't appreciate. But
let the record show that there's also still yearbooks,
yes.
Physical yearbooks, which is great.
I would think that have to be the key. You have to have something to sign.
Keep.
Now, you want to... I haven't done it in a while, probably 5 years. I still have my yearbook, which is 50 years this year, which is sort of an amazing thing even to think about. Concept I can't get my head around. But think about the things that people wrote in you. You want to go back and read what they wrote in your book. There's some amazing, in mine at least. I don't know what's in yours, but there's like either dude or girl, where's that coming from? Like, what are you trying to say to me in this yearbook that you didn't say to me like the 4 years we were in high school?
Like people hitting on you?
In a weird way, yeah. Hey, see you this summer. Like, where was that coming from? Didn't recognize that at all. Maybe it was just me. You know what I'm talking about?
I don't know. I have to go back. I think when my parents moved this summer, I don't know if she gave them to me or not. She found them. I don't know if she handed them off in the boxes of stuff that she was like, here, take this.
Is it appropriate for a parent, there's a whole other comment, for a parent to read their yearbooks, things people have written in them? Or is that a hands-off?
It's not a journal.
I don't know. It's pretty personal on some of this stuff, especially with kids now. They let it all hang out.
I don't know. I don't think it's that big of a deal.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. So ultimately, what's your take on the recess thing?
I think it'd be good.
All right. I think the texters are this is just guessing, looking at all the texts that came in. They're in favor of the idea. I think a lot of people think there needs to be some structure because there's a lot of comments about bullying that were.
Also, my mom texted me as both my brother and I got diagnosed with ADHD later in life, not as children. But she was like, especially for young boys who need more activity and like can't actually sit still, giving them more opportunities to be outside and get some of that energy out is not a bad thing as far as their development as well and not disrupting the class all the time.
So Debbie's listening today?
Debbie's listening today.
And my mom's listening. How nice is that?
Look at us. Look at our moms.
Let's celebrate moms.
But yeah, it's an interesting conversation. I think there's different schools of thought. I'm sure there's some kids, I don't know. I think it's a good thing. I think increasing it, I think putting a limit on 30 minutes feels short. What? Why did you look at me like that?
I was looking at Jazz. No, you think 30 minutes is not enough?
I don't think 30 minutes is enough.
All right. I don't disagree with that.
The compromise of 45 minutes, maybe that's somewhat where this could end up. 30 minutes feels very short for that being the full time that kids are allowed to just be outside in a 7-hour day.
Devil's in the details. I'm keeping my mind open to this idea, but I'm going to go back to what I said before about education. You got to get the basics right. Otherwise, what are we doing here? Now, if you want to chart a kid in a path that's not technical to arts, that's fine too, but structure it. Don't just let the kid willy-nilly pick stuff that's easy, right? My take. All right, we got local news with Connie Weber, the awesome Connie Weber. Before we get to that now, the latest from ABC.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. Protests intensifying in Minneapolis along with immigration operations following the fatal shooting last week of Renee Good. Multiple sources now say the ICE officer who opened fire suffered from internal bleeding in the incident.
A week after the incident, sources now tell ABC News the officer who fired the shots was treated for internal bleeding in his torso. Administration officials have insisted Jonathan Ross was struck by Renee Good's vehicle. His own recording indicates he held his cell phone in one hand and his pistol in the other as Good began to drive forward. Ross was immediately driven from the scene by fellow officers. Officials later said he was taken to a hospital for treatment.
ABC's Stephen Portnoy. At the White House, officials from Greenland and Denmark meeting with top Trump officials as President Trump pushes to acquire the Danish territory, despite Greenland saying it wants to remain autonomous. In Iran, at least 2,500 anti-government protesters may have died in recent demonstrations. The Iran supreme leader says trials will be swift along with executions. This is ABC News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 11:31. I'm Connie Weber. Several people critically hurt after an apartment complex fire on Milwaukee's north side. Fire crews responded to the New Hampton Garden Apartments, 22nd and Hampton, Tuesday afternoon. One woman was rescued and resuscitated before being taken to the hospital with 6 others. Milwaukee Fire and Police Departments investigating the fire as arson. Wisconsin lawmakers considering a bill to cap ticket resale prices. It would require venues and resellers to clearly show the full price up front, including all fees. Companies would be banned from raising prices after they're first displayed. The bill would also block reselling tickets above face value without authorization from the event operator. Violators would face $1,000 fines per incident and give up profits from illegal sales. Bill moving through the legislature. The rollout continues this week for headliners at this year's Wisconsin State Fair. Multi-platinum country star Bailey Zimmerman will perform Saturday, August 8th on the Bank 5-9 main stage. An Illinois native, Zimmerman's had multiple #1 singles. Tickets go on sale Friday. Wisconsin State Fair runs August 6th through the 16th. Time for news about your money. The WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. The Dow is down 302 points, 48,889. The Nasdaq down 374, 23,335. S&P 500 down 75 points at 6,888. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com. Taking a look at the roads now with your WTMJ Time Saver traffic. It's been a rough morning. We still have 2 left lanes closed due to a crash. I-43 south at 6th Street. Here's your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Falling temperatures, blustery today with a high of only 22 and an overnight low tonight of 13. Wind chills 0 to 5 degrees. Increasing cloudiness tomorrow. Snow likely at night. High Thursday 24. Snow likely Friday. Some accumulation possible. High 36. Scattered snow showers on Saturday. Breezy, cold, high of 21. Sunday, a chance of flurries. Partly cloudy with a high of only 17. Still 17 in Madison and in Green Bay. 21 degrees in Milwaukee. I'm Connie Weber. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 11:33.
All types of injury lawyers advertise. Cartoon lawyers, bobblehead lawyers, and folks chasing ambulances with text messages. Our clients don't want or need such lawyers. Our clients know, like, and trust that Pasternak and Zergabel will help in their time of need. I'm Frank Pasternak of Pasternak and Zergabel. Jeff Zergabel and I are excellent personal injury lawyers in our community. If you need help after an injury, go to Pasternak and Zergabel at injurywisconsin.com. That's injurywisconsin.com.
This message reaches 1 million people or more every week. Spreading the gospel is more than one voice speaking to 1 million. It is and must continue to be 1 million voices, each speaking to one, pointing them to our friend Jesus.
The Lutheran Hour with Dr. Michael Ziegler.
The Lutheran Hour, Sunday mornings at 6:30 on WTMJ.
Without an Advent clinic nearby, people suffering needlessly from chronic nasal congestion and sinus infections would be stuck with either Band-Aid or sledgehammer solutions. Band-Aids are pills or nasal sprays, and they're not true solutions. Surgery is a sledgehammer, and that's what we're trying to avoid. Because most people don't need surgery for nose and sinus issues, nor do they want a 14-day recovery. Our unique Advent approach can, in 20 minutes in our office, open your blocked nose for good, with only 1-day recovery. I'm Advent founder Dr. Kandula. Outside of Advent's 4 walls, invasive surgery is what they'll recommend. But here you will find effective and convenient in-office solutions to help you stop the need for Band-Aids and avoid the sledgehammer.
Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better. Most insurance accepted.
Now it's time for Ask Us Anything on Point Taken. Got a burning question? Give us a call or text on the Siding Unlimited talk and text line at 855-616-1620.
All right, we already have a couple questions coming in. 855-616-1620. All right, from the 414, I think. I'd like to know how much longer you think this business with ICE attacking people is going to last, and also how much longer it will be until somebody starts shooting them at protests. Ugh, it's a dark
Someone
way to
starts
start.
shooting the ICE agents. That would be a horrific development, because we've seen on the individual that was killed in Minneapolis what the reaction from the other side is. This whole thing is nuts. If the question is simply how much longer, I have no idea.
I have no idea either.
The president has stressed that this is what he wants to do. I would remind my conservative friends and many who supported this president that the original plan, as proposed in the campaign, was to go after criminals. Doesn't seem like that's what we're doing here. So how has that evolved or changed, and is that what you signed up for? I guess I would throw that back at the audience, because that's not what this is.
My question is, if this continues to be, like, if this continues to poll poorly and more public sentiment starts leaning towards, gross majorities of this is not the way that we saw this happening, if they would back off, or if this is something that is public opinion be damned.
I would think
forward.
so, but again, trying to understand the mind of the President of the United States is a very difficult task. He is an individual who has this clear thought in his mind of what he wants to see done. And also, I will suggest that this idea of America first has to turn into America only. That's what this is now. It's not America first. America first says you, of course, look out for your citizens, but you also take care of the rest of the world in some form or fashion. Doesn't have to be financial, just can be support as a one country to another. That's not what's going on here. It's dangerous stuff. And I don't think we want to be the only player on our side, right? We want to be part of a team. That's what NATO's for. That's some of the other alliances we have in this hemisphere. If we don't have that, we've already pissed off Canada. Not sure about Mexico. South America, probably not real happy with us, right? We've gone into Venezuela, and apparently the president himself is running the country now. At least that's his words, whatever that means. I don't know. I can't answer that question because there's too many uncertainties in the equation. Have no idea. But I know you said it yesterday or the day before, yesterday. There can be other killings here, and that should certainly raise the temperature on this, as if one's not enough. You should not go to protest and then be killed in the act of protesting. I understand there's all these other pieces of the story, but on its foundation and its face, that's not right in this country. To be in a car and you're shot in the face? I don't care what your politics are. That's insane. And that's one. That's a one of. We don't need any more of those. Is that the answer that you were looking for?
I don't know. I mean, the images I'm seeing are really scary as far as how aggressive the interactions seem to be getting. And I don't know at one point that you cut your losses because it's not worth it. And I don't know if the point is just to scare people into submission, because it doesn't seem like people are submitting.
No, and there's been peaceful protests, thank God, around the country saying the same thing. And you know, the president is probably going to start getting some bad news. Could get it from the courts, could get it from the midterm elections this year. How he reacts to that, what his policy changes how that would affect his policy, remains to be seen. This one, Trump on Greenland. Why have not other presidents or chief of staffs discussed or pushed for this in the past? Have either of you heard of something to the contrary? I Googled it because I saw that question. Harry Truman proposed buying Greenland from Denmark for $100 million in gold in 1946.
Really?
Yeah.
And it was turned down?
Yeah.
Right. Did he actually make the offer, or it was a proposal, like he wanted to do it? Or was it actually, he made the offer
Denmark
and they said,
officially
no, thank
rejected the offer. If you want to go, I just watched this. I was watching the Thomas Jefferson story on the History Channel, which is a great watch, by the way, about 5 or 6 episodes. Louisiana purchased $15 million back in 18-something.
Good deal.
Great deal. It was basically a Mississippi West, except the coast, which eventually got anyway. So I understand this has happened before. But
what is he offering different Greenlanders, like $100,000 to?
Yeah, I don't know.
Become citizens, basically. I don't actually. I read some headline that there is money being offered. I don't actually know what the deal would look like, as far as what that incentive and what if there is popular demand for it.
You weren't here on Monday, but I played a clip from Ron Johnson, U.S. Senator, senior senator from Wisconsin, on up front because Matt wasn't here, and he answered the question correctly. When the president talks about invading Greenland with he goes, no, that's not going to happen. And that's the right answer. So I applauded the senator for saying the right thing. This is nuts. We're not going to invade a country that is, looked over by a country that we have a great relationship, which is Denmark. It's just not going to happen. So what are we talking about here? You're going to send a military force? I understand there's a base there. There's 150 people on that base. It's just between 130 and 150 people. And there's only, 57,000 people on that island country. Mm-hmm. What are you doing? Like, why? Because you think it's strategically important? I get that. You have a base on it. Isn't that enough? There's no other countries that have bases on it other than a small force from Denmark. What are you talking about? That's what drives me nuts about some of this stuff. That's the absurdity of politics and a dumb, you-know-what idea. Ask us a question, 855-616-1620, the Siding Unlimited WTMJ talk and text line. Ask us anything on 620 WTMJ.
Recently, a seller that unfortunately ended up choosing another agent called me. She said she made a mistake, and what she was expressing to me sounded like she kind of was bullied into signing with him. Is it typical? Not always, but it will never happen when you hire a Century 21 Benefit Realty agent. I want our agents to be able to look in the mirror and say, I'd want to work with me. Not because they're good at saying what you want to hear or offer the lowest commission, but because of trust. Because if you're not feeling that from your agent, that's a problem. And I don't want that. At 1.9% on the listing side of your sale with our commission capped at $19,000, Century 21 Benefit Realty leads with a very fair and transparent commission structure with maximum marketing that can get your home sold fast and for the best price. And saving money matters, but working with someone who'll tell you exactly what you need to know up front, that creates trust. And that matters too. This is Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty, benefit-realty.com, where you pay less for full service. Each office is independently owned and operated.
A buck in today's world doesn't go far unless you're spending it at Griffin. Because for just $1 over cost, you can buy brand new tires from us. Buy one or a whole set. This is Jim Griffin. Any major brand. We'll put you in new tires for just $1 over our cost with free tire repair and lifetime rotation. That's right, $1 over cost, and we'll even show you the invoice to prove it. So what's the catch? There's really no catch. You don't have to buy a car or a truck from us. We'd like it if you did, but our only requirement is we put them on for you. Buy one, two, or a set of four. The $1 deal at Griffin. Available at Griffin Chrysler Jeep South 27th Street and Griffin Ford Waukesha. The $1 deal at Griffin. Make your dollar go further. Griffin, the buck stops here, but the deals on tires don't. $1 over cost. That's Griffin.
Not combinable with other tire offers.
I'm Dr. Jasmine Zapata, Chief Medical Officer for Community Health at the Wisconsin Department of Health Services. Every year in the U.S., about 21,000 lung cancer deaths are caused by radon, an odorless, tasteless, and colorless gas. 1 in 10 Wisconsin homes has high levels of radon. Does yours? Call 1-888-LOW-RADON or visit lowradon.org to learn more. Test, fix, save a life.
Sponsored by the Wisconsin Department of Health Services.
Kick off the new year with a smarter home and bigger savings with Exterior Pros and Baths. New windows to lock in the warmth, durable roofing, eye-catching siding, or a stunning bath makeover. Start the year off right and get $3,000 off your project. That's right, $3,000 back in your pocket during our New Year Savings event. Call 262-800-4274 or visit extpros.com today. This deal won't last all winter. Exterior Pros and Baths. New year, new home, done right.
Start your Milwaukee weight loss program now to lose weight fast. 20 to 30 pounds. How about a month or two? Call for your free weight loss consultation. 262-449-1180. That's 262-449-1180 or online at MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com. That's MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com.
Here's a good question for you, Steve.
Yes.
From the 608. Hey, Steve, 608 means more Dane County, so they maybe were not one of your constituents, but did you respond to your constituents' inquiries when you were mayor of Oak Creek? During my business career from 70s through 90s, wrote many professional letters of business issues and always received the courtesy of a response. Not anymore. Senator Johnson gets an F in this regard. Wouldn't vote for him again. This person now lives in Arizona, but I would imagine, if I had to guess, that you were pretty responsive.
Yeah, if you contacted me.
You wouldn't sat with a kid at recess, so.
Because his mom asked me to.
Yeah.
And I thought it was an important thing. I still have that picture on my phone somewhere. Yes, if they emailed me, I'd email them back. And what I often would say, especially if they had a really detailed question or something they needed some help with, I'd say, let's grab a cup of coffee. We have a lot of local businesses. We'll just meet, have a quick cup of coffee, talk it out. And I did hundreds of those. And if you want to be a local leader, that is the best way to sort of embrace your job and the people that voted for you, even if they didn't vote for you, because sometimes that's the case as well. I learned more from the people that didn't like me than the people that did. They always had fascinating ways of looking at things. And we always left it, I think, every situation that I can think of civilly.
Here's a question for you. From how many years were you mayor?
5.
5. So from the personality that you had entering the office to what you were like afterwards, what do you think the biggest change was for you personally? Either how you saw the world, or were you softer, more empathetic?
Well, this may surprise you, but I was very confident in my position going into the term, less confident at the end, but in a good way, because I would listen to people. Like, I went in thinking I knew the answer to but you learn very quickly that you don't, and you start to understand that listening and sort of deciphering all the feedback. We had great people that worked with me at Oak Creek, both elected and otherwise. Fantastic people, and I've thanked them in public and in private many times throughout the years. That made my life easier. And we dealt with some big stuff, both development side and obviously the tragedy at the Temple. So we did some big things, and we responded in the right way. And that's why Oak Creek is still a hot place to live. People want to live there and move there. And I think that we were part of that story. But it's not one person. But I definitely became a better
Maybe it's just more
listener.
humility.
Yeah,
Not
maybe.
less confident, but like some more humility, less hubris.
Yeah, that's why I was trying to phrase that in the right way. I've always been confident.
Yeah,
well,
I don't
not
think you
always,
lack
but as
it.
an adult. Yeah,
You don't
but-
seem like someone who lacks confidence.
No. Are stop signs in private parking lots enforceable? That's a random question.
I don't know. Here's a question for
No idea.
private parking lots. Do they have to mark the median?
How about just getting the
I
lines
still
better?
got to go back to interstate and be like, hey, can you kick me back some cash for this unmarked median that I ran over?
If somebody brought up parking lots, and I was just in a parking lot at a restaurant last week, I do not like the parking lots where it's straight in. I like the angle parks. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, you mean like the lines on the...
The lines are angled, so it's easier to get in and out. I don't understand what this straight thing is about. Is it more spots?
Well, it's a two-way. If it's straight, like if it's
Either way, if
like
it's-
90-degree angles, then going up or down, you can park in the spot. If it's at an angle, obviously
It's one way.
it's a one-way, but that's a lot harder to design the parking structure like
don't
that.
care. I want the angle. Seriously, that
All right,
hard?
well, when you own your own parking garage, Steve, you can put them all at angles.
All right, here's a light topic. Favorite TV shows you're watching right now, and any recommendations?
What are we watching right now?
I just watched House of Dragons. On HBO. Fantastic.
You like it?
Yeah, it's sort of the second season because I'd seen the first season a couple years ago. Awesome.
It's very fun.
Mm-hmm.
We're trying to get through The Diplomat.
Also a good show.
Good so far. Are we watching anything else right now?
Regular TV, I never watch it except for sports. Yeah, I'm not interested. I am going to watch, since we got HBO for at least a moment or two. We're going to get The Pit.
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah.
I'm very excited.
We're excited to
for
watch
that
it. We're actually going to
season.
start watching it this weekend.
Yeah, I can't wait for you to hear how you like it.
Is it two
it's-
seasons?
The second season's about to come out.
Okay, so we can catch up and watch one.
Yes, you can watch one and then be frustrated because it's not a show. It's not like Netflix where they just release the entire season. You have to wait each week for the next episode to come out.
A lot of them do that now. Silo does that, and Severance does
Well,
that.
that's what TV originally was, right?
Yes.
But
Doesn't mean we have to like it.
no, but yes, it is. That was my favorite show of last year by far.
From a driver's ed teacher, parking lot stop signs are not enforceable.
There you go.
Do you think people actually stop at them? I don't think so.
I mean, sometimes in Milwaukee, we have a hard time getting people to stop at actual stop signs.
True. You know what, including my wife, you know what I would like to see is a shopping cart enforcement rule. I hate when people just leave their carts like laying around. Walk it back up. Get the steps. What are you doing? Why is that hard for people? They actually made it easier. They put the little corrals in the parking lot. They're all structured now. You just push it in. Don't be one of those people that just leaves it right by your car. That's lazy.
Agreed.
All right, we got a question about the country and its 250th anniversary. We'll answer that after this on Ask Us Anything. Hey, this is WTMJ Steve Scaffidi. If you're about to or just considering selling your business, you're likely experiencing a flood of questions and new priorities. In this new interactive webinar, Annex Wealth Management's Anthony Malachnik and Brian Lamborn will join me, Steve Scaffidi, discussing many of the key questions you may be asking, including who you should consult with, what tasks you should prioritize, and when you're ready to make that move. Join me, Steve Scaffidi, Anthony, and Brian for this informative webinar. Go to annexwealth.com, click on the Events tab to join.
Brewers mini ticket plans for the 2026 season are available now with 6-game, 12-game, and build your own plan options. You can pick or build the best plan for your schedule, whether you're gearing up for tailgates under the sun, the thrill of the home runs, or the eruptions of walk-off wins. Brewers mini plans have you covered for the 2026 season with specially discounted ticket rates and more exclusive perks in each plan. Check out all the mini plan options available for 2026 now at brewers.com/ticket plans.
Every year I make the same resolutions.
What, get rid of your husband?
Don't be silly. No, get organized, and I'm finally keeping it.
Because we're turning that cluttered closet into a custom space that actually works.
More shelves, better hanging.
Space for shoes and sanity.
Start the new year with a closet that makes your mornings easier.
It's one resolution you don't have to do alone. We'll design it with you.
Get started at InspiredClosetsMilwaukee.com.
Inspired Closets.
A wife and husband team.
When I shop St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores, every time I come in, it's like a whole new store. It's because new inventory's arriving daily, all kinds of everything. And let me tell you, thrift store prices make buying easy. And helping others at the same time, that's icing on the cake. St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
With an ever-changing inventory, you never know what great bargains you're going to be able to find at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores. It makes shopping fun because the best finds are the ones you had no idea you'd even come across. And when they're at thrift store prices, it feels good. And it feels even better to know you're helping us help others. Shop St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul. Alleviate your pain, rejuvenate your life.
Rejuvenex.com. Tune in to Wisconsin's Midday News with Greg Matzik and Jessica Ty.
From the WTMJ Breaking Newsroom, protests continue in Minneapolis after 37-year-old Renee Nicole Good was shot and killed by an ICE agent.
Bringing you the latest in news, sports, traffic, and weather.
Lawmakers in Madison are being urged to pass legislation to improve conditions in jails and prisons across the state.
Every weekday from noon until 3 p.m. Only on WTMJ. WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
We're just doing this for the rest of the show.
I might.
All right. Couple more questions before we get out of here today. Here's a challenge for us because neither of us has been to Aldi, and Aldi's expanding. Did you know that?
I'm a big Aldi fan.
I thought you said you hadn't been there.
Aldi?
Someone said that neither of you have ever been to Aldi's. They got to figure it out if you want.
I haven't been in the last 10 years, but when they were open in Oak Creek. I think they have 2 locations.
I think I'm going to start putting that in the roundup of places to go check out for groceries.
Yeah, they have the parking lot thing, the cart thing. Yeah.
Yeah, it's smart.
Quarter. What do you do if you don't have a quarter?
That is a good question. That is such a different thing now. I remember when I lived in San Francisco, my apartment didn't have a washer dryer in the building, but there was a laundromat half a block down the hill, which was just in general. I was mentioning that to my husband the other day. I was like, I was in a lot better shape when I lived in San Francisco, walking up and down those hills. But
and they got a lot of them.
But I would have to, because they didn't. It was before you could just like tap with your credit card or Apple Pay or whatever, and just collecting quarters and running out of quarters, and then having to go to like a bank or go to the corner store to get change for $1, and just a lot more conveniences now. One of the things I wanted to point out, there is someone who still really wants us to do Spinning the State, which was a segment that we did on Spanning the State, the show from last year, where we would highlight stories from around Wisconsin. I don't know if it's going to fit on our show for Point Taken, but what if we put it in the newsletter?
Yeah, send us some great stories from.
Yeah, if we highlighted some good stories from around Wisconsin in our Extra Points newsletter, along with our recommendations to things to read and whatever, but like a story that stands out to you and I from Wisconsin, from different small parts. And it's another reason then to subscribe to the newsletter.
Extra, EXTRA to 855-616-1620. And because we got the show late, I'm going to borrow a little time for the next show. Question, as we approach our 250th anniversary of independence, does it seem if our federal government is now treating more people very much like England did the colonies? It's a great question. We're going to hear a lot about this 250th anniversary this year in all kinds of forms and fashion. And in my opinion, it can't be just about the fireworks and the military flyovers and all of that stuff. It has to be about what that represents. That's treating people with fairness and equity. And I don't care if you don't like the words. That's what this nation's been built on, and we are a country of immigrants, whether you like it or not. Start understanding that. So all that other hoopla is great, but that's not the foundation of why we're here after 250 years.
It's a good way to end the show.
We'll see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
Welcome to The Knowledge Brokers, a weekly feature covering the dynamics of the insurance market and how it affects Wisconsin businesses and residents. Sponsored by the original knowledge broker, R&R Insurance. And joining me today is Jeff Salazinski, Executive Vice President of Insurance Operations. Jeff, the insurance industry, dynamic as ever. I always believe that you really enjoy what you do when we talk, genuinely who you work for as well. So let's keep this rapid fire theme up. I'm going to fire a few questions at you, get your thoughts.
Great, Vince. Let's go.
Okay, what types of positions is R&R Insurance looking for these days?
Vince, at our core, we're a sales organization. Commercial insurance, employee benefits insurance, and personal insurance. A well-trained, disciplined professional can make a great career in our industry. Well-paid, flexible schedules, and working inside a culture-driven, client-focused family business. It truly is great.
Any other roles